and welcome to Timeless RC. My name's Simon Heathers and I'll be bringing you this new channel dedicated to all types of RC. So hopefully we can have some fun along the way. Bit of background about myself. I have been, unfortunately, not been well for a few years now, and sadly last September lost my job due to ill health. So it prompted me to do something that I actually enjoy, and I thought I'd set up a YouTube channel. So hopefully we can have some fun and laughter, should we say. Just to kick off the channel, the first car or the first kit that I will be building, we'll just give you an introduction this time, but there'll be a follow-up video obviously of the build, is a Tamiya CR01. It's a crawler and it's based on the Tamiya Toyota Land Cruiser 40, which, as you can see from the box, is quite a beastie box. I've had this one for some time now, but with the intention of building it, I thought might as well keep it for the channel because it's something a little bit different. So let's have a look inside the box. First off, we've got the instruction manual, as you'd expect. Very clearly written, as well as Tamiya normally are. The chassis side rails, aluminium, give you extra strength, but it's also light. Plastic parts for various types of things, battery holders, chassis parts, suspension parts and different things. Set of tyres. Set of tyres are reasonably soft. They're quite good tyres actually, to give you grip and also be flexible enough to do crawling with, which is good because I know on the CC01 and CC02 the tyres are rather hard and don't give you the grip and ride that you actually need for crawling, so it's a bit of a shame. But you can swap them out with various other types, Schumacher tyres or other things of the similar type, which are softer. Body shell, which is, you can see the mould marks unfortunately, which is a shame. It's got a mould mark down there. It's unfortunate, but it's one of those things, and another mould mark across the front. But the box art is red with a white roof. I tend to prefer black with a white roof because I think it makes it look more menacing, but we'll see. I can decide that later on down the line, so it's still to be decided yet. You've got the standard black wheels, which are two-piece wheels because you get chrome covers to go on the inside and outside, which make it look nice as well. So it's a nice addition. Two lots of those. You then get chrome mirrors and headlights. Unfortunately, they don't provide a chrome grille and other parts that are in it, like the mirrors, inserts and that, which you would think would be sort of the same colour chrome. But you can get additional sets, which I've seen separately on eBay and other platforms. So that might be an addition for later on. Other plastic parts, all to help towards the build. More plastic parts, you've got your body posts and a nice big strong bumper. Always good for a crawler, because it saves you doing some damage to the front shell. Axles, which look quite hefty and strong. Not sure if you can get hop up chrome types or from another manufacturer chrome versions. If you could, it would be good, because it would give it a bit more bling and look nice as well once you're driving. But that's something that can be changed at a later date if need be. And then you've got some more plastic parts, which are parts of the chassis. The rails fixed to this, and then your arms fixed to that to give you your flexibility when you're travelling off-road. Now the box of goodies, and not least, not of course, decals. Nice thin decals, which all need to be cut out and installed around the windows, which I love doing, not. But it's got to be done to finish it off. In the box of goodies, got the axle holders, bag of axles. The axles on the CR01 are plastic. I'm not sure if you can get metal upgrades, but you have two parts to them. One's an outer and one's an inner. Basically what it does is it extends and shrinks when the arm moves. So obviously when it's up it's going to be shorter, when it's down it's going to be longer. So it gives you flexibility as well as drive, which is quite good, but metal ones would be better if you can get them, obviously, because in time plastic is going to wear. So that's something to consider if I can find them. Same again. Gears, plastic gears. And you've got a bag of metal gears, which is good, to go into the drive shafts, into the axles, which is good because that gives you extra strength. It's a shame the other parts were metal as well, just to give you that added strength. You've got your drive parts, washers, screws, all sorts. Another bag of screws, pinion gear, more screws, shafts for the steering, springs, more shafts, obviously your oil for the dampers, suspension housings, plastic. Not sure if you can get upgrades for that as well, something to consider. Got the suspension parts that make you tighten the springs tighter, etc. Standard 540 Mabushi motor, servo saver, and finally pins to hold the body shell on. So all in all, it looks quite a nice build, so I look forward to doing that. As I say, I'm not sure if there's bearings in it or not. There's supposed to be bearings in the kit, but if not, I may have to temporarily do it with the plastic bearings, and then later date change them, because at the moment I haven't got any bearings for cars. I've got some, but for certain kits. So certain kits at the moment will get bearings, others won't, unfortunately. But I'd recommend, if you're going to build a car of any type, to put in bearings when you do the build, rather than have to go back and take it apart and do it again. Obviously you need to take the gearboxes apart now and then to maintain them, clean them out, put new grease in to make it all run smoothly. So it could be done at that point as well. So it's not the last resort. It's not nothing that's going to be awkward, just time consuming. But if you're going to maintain it anyway, you could do it at that point. So that's the first car which we'll be doing, and look forward to it. Another kit we'll be doing on the show, probably after we've done the CR01, is actually another Tamiya, but it's a classic car which has been re-released some years ago. I forget the time it was released, but it's the Tamiya Toyota Toms 84C, which is a 112 Pan car. Now, back in the day when I was at school, I used to race at a local club, and I raced mini stocks and buggies. Mini stock, I had one of the original ones, and buggy wise I had a Koshio Turbo Optima Mid SE. I won both championships one year with both of those, so I was quite pleased. Unfortunately, we had trophies back then, but being a small club, we had to hand them back because of financial reasons. But I have got little keyrings somewhere. I'll see if I can find out at some point. But going back to the kit, it's a very, very simple kit, but once they're finished, the C cars are very, very fast to drive. I used to also drive an associated RC12 at one club, and I was in the lead in the race, as my good friend Paul will know, and I was coming down the straight full speed and hit one of the discs on the corners and took off into the wall. So that kind of killed my race that day, because it finished off my electronic speed controller, which back in the day were horrendous things with great big electronics that you could see, and they were so difficult to maintain. Not like the modern ones, which are a lot easier and a lot smaller. So, but getting onto the kit, obviously we've got some wee baby wheels. Being 112, it's only got tiny wheels and tyres. Foam tyres, obviously rears are thicker, the fronts are thinner. some plastic parts, motor holder, different things like such. More plastic parts, looks like a battery, just like a battery coming out of the car when you're driving. More plastic parts, front arms. More plastic parts, but as you can see from the box, there's not a lot in it because obviously the C cars are very, very small and there's not a lot in them. That's the body shell with the rear wing all ready to be cut out, which I do like the Toyota Thomas body, which I do find very attractive. Met driver in there as well, painted up. More plastic parts, you've got your body posts as well as other things. Driver's head and a mount for the driver. Bag of goodies. So you've got a motor, 360 motor in this one because it's a small car, but I used to race an associated RC12 as I said, and I had a Cochio Le Mans 240 motor in that and it flew. So maybe something I'll upgrade because if I can fit it in, I'm not sure on the size of the chassis with this one. It's the first time I've had one of these. I always wanted one when I was younger back in the day, but like then it was a case of pocket money, didn't afford things like such as that, so couldn't have them. But you've got all the screws, fixings, grease, servo saver, such and such in that box. And then a dinky little chassis, FRP chassis, tiny little thing. So it gives you an idea of the size of the cars in comparison to a 1/10 buggy. Instructions, always easy to read, and as you can see from the instructions, this is the chassis type, so it's rather simple layout. The original had an upper level to the chassis for some rigidity, but for some reason Tamiya took it out when they did the re-release, so it's a shame, but I can understand the point. Decals, there's quite straightforward ones on this, just the simple ones on the bonnet, not bonnet, sorry, on the sides. And then it's mainly a case of the Toyota lettering and numbers, so it's pretty straightforward. So that will be second in the list of builds. I've got others as well coming. Obviously I've got Tamiya Top Force, the re to build. That's got the carbon chassis upgrade to it and high cap shocks. I've got the Mini 50 from Mardave. Was lucky enough to get a hold of one of the only 50 in the world, so that will be built. I've also got the original Mini stocks which I had back in the day, which I used to race, so that will be cleaned up and a new shell put on. I've got another Mini as well. The other Mini is I think it's the Assassin R. So the intention is to build all the Minis. The Mini 50, I've got the upgraded carbon chassis kit to it as well, so that will be built, but it's only going to be run on either flat ground or indoors where I can, safe to say that it's not going to damage the chassis because there's only obviously 50 of them in the world. So, but then I can do a comparison video from the original to the modern to see if there's any difference in what the cars can do. I've also got another Mini S, I think it is, I can't remember, the latest one that's just being released by Mardave on order, so that will be joining the show soon. And I've got a host of Schumacher cars to do, which I've got the XLS, the re version of Top Cat, I've got the Cougar Laydown, and I've also got the MI7. Both of those two will be built to race standards, as I am going to be racing those. I used to race back in the day, as I said, and it's something I want to get back into doing. So it's something I used to enjoy. So they will be race spec. I know a good friend, Paul, hopefully you're watching, is in the process of setting up a racing team with the Timeless RC as a sponsor. So we can have fun with that, and we can sort of spread that across the country. It don't have to be down on the south coast. You can either be up north, east, west, wherever, but still race under the Timeless RC name. So we'll get some stickers and a colour scheme for the body shells drawn up at some point in the time. and that I think will be good to promote the channel as well, which is something different to what others do. So hope you enjoy the weekend, what's left of it, and happy RCing. See you again soon. So all in all, it looks quite a nice build, so I look forward to doing that. As I say, I'm not sure if there's bearings in it or not. There's supposed to be bearings in the kit, but if not, I may have to temporarily do it with the plastic bearings, and then later date change them, because at the moment I haven't got any bearings for cars. I've got some, but for certain kits. So certain kits at the moment will get bearings, others won't, unfortunately. But I'd recommend, if you're going to build a car of any type, to put in bearings when you do the build, rather than have to go back and take it apart and do it again. Obviously you need to take the gearboxes apart now and then to maintain them, clean them out, put new grease in to make it all run smoothly. So it could be done at that point as well. So it's not the last resort. It's not nothing that's going to be awkward, just time consuming. But if you're going to maintain it anyway, you could do it at that point. So that's the first car which we'll be doing, and look forward to it.